Hello and welcome to Battleships. This is a neat little RTS game, single player only. It's very interestingly themed. You have a battleship on each side, and you have, well, lots of explosions that you can send toward your opponent. It's very, I'm going to call it a very simple RTS game. Doesn't have a lot to it, but we can go over some of the basic mechanics. You see, what I've done here is I've started with what is probably the most overpowered strategy available in this game, is I've created a boat factory. It's just this little naval construction facility enabling me to build units, and I'm building units out of it. And the reason this is overpowered is because the AI is very bad at dealing with this. So either the AI does what they have done now, which is build their own barracks effectively and send units at me, or they die. It is about that simple. Now you notice the AI is a little bit ahead of me here, but that's okay. They're ahead of me because their ship has a passive bonus to ship construction, so they are naturally going to beat me out in that. So I'm not going to be concerned about that. I'm going to go ahead and work on my economy and just let this happen. So I'm going to build a builder bay, which lets me build more builder drones, as it were. And they're going to keep sending boats at me. It looks like they've switched off of building massive amounts of units to spending some of their money on defenses, which is going to slow down their unit production, but that's fine. I'm not going to try to contest that. We are going to just keep working on our economy and let us destroy our dudes in base. Because you see, what happens here is every time this unit fires its projectiles at our base, it hits our ship that is in construction, and then doesn't actually hit our boat, which means so long as we have something under construction, which we can have always, we're basically immune to these basic units here, which is really great that I don't have to worry about that anymore. And they're going to keep spending money on doing things that I'm just going to keep on not caring. Because, well, you know what? They've spent a lot of money on units that I'm not going to have to worry about. Make sure this is at maximum speed. Thank you. So we're going to have a lot of noise and a lot of action going around there, but every time they build off a unit, that's more resources being sent into something that's not going to hurt me much. Now, what they are doing is they are switching off to an artillery ship. So I'm going to go ahead and start building an air facility here. Let me get some air units out, whereas these are naval units. I'm going to be sending air units at them. The AI is already reacting by building an anti-air flak facility there, but I'm not going to be sending my units so far as to be shot down by flak. I'm going to be keeping my units nice and close, building some gunship helicopters. And I'm going to have them flatten everything that's in front of my base. Get a nice defensive line here. Nice. So, a quick explanation as to how the economy works is you have a certain number of builders of drones. In this case, I have 8 right now. And I have all 8 of them working on this facility. So I have nothing else being built over here. This outline of a ship keeps getting reconstructed, but it's never going to complete because I have 0 builders working on it. I have all of my builders working on this. Now, you have infinite money, as it were. Everything is just about how fast you can build things. And some items require a minimum amount of builders in order to progress at all. For example, this gunship requires 6 builders in order to be constructed at all. So I could have 6 builders here and 2 off doing other things, but I'm not too keen to do that right now when I can just dump out massive amounts of these helicopters. And you'll see that these helicopters are just going to fly above and deal with anything that comes over here. Like they have this artillery ship just launching artillery at my port here, and I'm just gonna gun them all down. AI is going to respond by building more anti-air, which is fun, and then they're gonna also build some more artillery ships, which we've already seen don't work very well. Now, because I've gone ahead and built my basic boat facility here, my attack boat facility here, I have control as the pacing of this map. I could at any time switch to bombers or switch to building artillery ships or attack boats of my own and basically cause a nightmare for my opponent here. And I just have to make sure they don't do anything cheeky, and then we'll be alright. So what I'm going to do is take this opportunity to get a bit more economy, because you know I like my economy. Go hard on the economy, and then you could just swarm your opponents quite well. Did I set this to... No, that is still the attack boats. Now, this is about the point when the enemy's probably going to start trying to switch up strategies and do something else. It looks like they're going to be building more economy of their own. This is fine. I can basically negate a lot of that by building a bunch of attack boats and just slaughtering them. I don't want to go over there with aircraft of a kind because they've got a lot of They've got a lot of anti-air. You can see they have 3 anti-air platforms, flak and 2 SAM sites. But I can come over here and destroy all this stuff that they have in their dock. That would be nice. Let me get these 2 boats. Ooh, their artillery ship is very, very strong. It'll be fine. We will eventually come out on top by virtue of having more economy. More economy, of course, because we started building economy earlier. And also, I'm building these guys very quickly now. There we go. Oh, my dudes are getting a little close. But there it is. Nice. So this will cause some problems for them. Of course, you'll see the AI has got the same kind of thing going around where their boat keeps getting reconstructed, so my projectiles are having a hard time getting in there. But once our boats get in close, then they can't occupy the same space. We've destroyed one of their turrets here. There we go. There it is. Now, we've started to deal some damage to their base here. They have 1 turret left, and we're working on that. Once that turret is down, then they will have nothing. So they have nothing to stop me from shooting them here. So now I'm going to do the same thing they did to me. I'm going to switch over to the artillery craft and build them quite quickly here. And sure, these tiny boats won't be able to do much of anything because they can keep reconstructing boats, and you see they keep reconstructing the thing, and it eats shots that otherwise would go onto their boats, and their main HP, you can see their total HP, is not going down at all. And that's going to be a problem for me, so I need to get my artillery ships out. And, well, yeah, but they've managed to eat enough shots that they're also getting everything rebuilt. That's kind of expected. The attack ships are very good at stun locking the opponent if they don't have defenses up. Or, you know, before defenses are up, like, say, the beginning of the game. But after they're already online, it's not really something... You can't really use the attack boats to get rid of them. You have to use something else. And in this case, the artillery ships, these frigates here, very good for doing exactly that. Artillery ship should be able to take that down quite quickly. Or at least before it comes out of dock. There you go, come on, make it go away. Oh dear. Oh, that's big. And you missed. Artillery ship, why do you miss? It's fine. Well, we have much more economy than they do. We can blow them up. I'm gonna target this, bring these guys in closer. There we go. So let them get the actual damage in. No more of that, please. Have them target the ship turret. If I get further in still, I should be able to get all 3 of these. No, I think I need to get even further in. Is that too close? Yeah, that's a little bit too close. We are now in close enough to get hit by the base turret. But I think that'll be... Yeah, we'll have them target this down. That'll be fine. We've got multiple ships in range there. So once this guy gets into there, yeah, we'll have 2 firing on that. Then I'll switch on over to the destroyer, which is even bigger, longer range. There we go. So now these 2 artillery ships start dealing damage. You notice their HP bar is starting to go down quite quickly, which is what we want, because, well, our job is to blow them up. And this strategy just kind of works every time, because either they contest us in the early game and we eventually just switch out by virtue of this builder facility being way overpowered, or they don't contest us and we blow them up 1 minute into the match. I'll see if I can do another level here and show you guys an AI that doesn't attempt to contest, just to see how quickly and trivial it becomes. Yeah, look at, we're just destroying everything. These tiny, every little construction they have, they're down to nothing but some anti-air on front of their base. Oh, their boat is having a rough time. And here come the destroyers with their rockets, dealing massive splash damage all over the place. Yep, I'll get 1 more destroyer. And, well, we really won't have to get more. I could invest into some more economy, or even some of these bigger things like the Death Star launcher. It's quite good. I'm a big fan of the Ultralisk because the Ultralisk gives you 30 builder drones, which basically lets you instantly build everything at once, which is kind of disgusting. Really makes me happy. Nuke launcher, obviously very good. It takes forever to launch though, but like if you can get it, it's just a game ender, like immediately a game ender, so that's always fun. There's a lot of other cool toys. If you really want to just beat the level, or beat anything really, you just got to start with the boats and just bring more boats out, and that's just kind of how that goes. And here come the rockets, chunking away the HP. And it's gone. And we're off. So let's see what happens when the AI doesn't make an effort to contest the early game here. It looks like they're building drones out the gate. This is the addition. This is the equivalent of them investing into their economy more. This is not going to work for them, not in the slightest, because you see, they're going to build economy, and they're going to have the ability to build things faster than I am, and to build more things more often, and we're going to solve that problem by blowing them up with an attack boat. Now, if you guys saw from last time, the attack boat really doesn't do all that much damage. It's not like it's going to end the game immediately, but what it does do is it prevents them from building really much of anything. They now have to spend all their money on repairing as opposed to investing into more things or building units of their own. And notice we're losing some HP on our boat, or on our attack boat here, and they're losing just about their entire front turret. Yeah, isn't that great? Oh no, this is a damaged front turret. Would be a shame if another boat showed up. So let me just make sure this is targeted. And it keeps getting slammed in there. That's gonna be great. So what I'm actually gonna do is have him target this guy, because what this guy will do is move all the way up forward as far as he can. It's still out of range, so he'll never be able to actually hit this, but it gets it close enough that two boats can attack at the same time. And now this guy's in a really bad way, because the only thing he has to save him is his economic structure, and it's not going to save him from the rain of stacking attack boats. Yeah, he keeps building a structure here and it eats a shot, but it's still not enough, and suddenly he has no defenses. Just his HP is starting to trickle down, and we can do whatever we want, because he has nothing left to do against these boats. I'm just gonna let these boats stack there. I'm gonna let this last guy finish as we slowly win the game, and then start working on my economy. I'm just gonna stop building boats. No more builder boats, or no more building attack boats. I'm gonna work on my economy to end the game faster, because the game is already over. Either this opponent stops trying. He cannot defend himself. There is no combination of units or structures which can defend from from just having enemy at your gate this early. Now, you notice his HP not going down very quickly. It's a very slow death. So he does have plenty of time to try to build units of his own from, say, I don't know, how about aircraft? Aircraft could work pretty well. But then you have to sacrifice HP on your ship, and the AI is not going to do that. The AI is not going to say, oh, this is a lost cause, I should stop fighting, and hope to tech up and hope I don't die in the process, which, spoiler alert, usually do die, especially when you have, 6 boats lined up to shoot at you. But in case there is a possibility of not dying, and that's really the only chance the AI has right now, because sitting here, the AI will inevitably die. It's very slow death, but nevertheless. So I'm going to keep building this, and do I want to stop building economy? Because I could just straight end the game now. Like, all I have to do is, you know what? We'll get a couple destroyers out. How about that? Because we've got a lot of attack boats going, and at this point, I may have built too many attack boats, I'm realizing. I don't think, because the next boat's going to slide into this slot over here, and that's just never going to have an opportunity to really get the damage done. So how about we go with some big things here? Yeah, let me work on my economy a bit. We could go for a nuke. Tell you what do you guys go into the comments below? If you want to see more of this game, tell me which you want to see. Do you want to see the Death Star? Do you want to see the nuke? I'm going to get the Ultralisk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Ultralisk this time. And this time I'm going to go with an Ultralisk and something a little bit more mundane, perhaps. Something like, say, massive amounts of aircraft here. That sounds like good fun. This thing takes forever to build. Of course, it is the ultimate game-ending weapon. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build the Ultralisk, get an air factory, and just dump out bombers on the opponent, because I like that idea. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. Just flood the skies with our bombers. This poor AI is just stun locked, trying not to die. Look, we finally got the HP bar consistently down before the start of the E in their name. But it's not something that the AI can come out of. They are very deep into the death spiral here. This AI is still having a bad time. Yep, HP slowly trickling down. AI is trying to fight back against the inevitability of their demise. And we go from 18 builders to a max of 48. And this builds instantly. That's going to be nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, before pressing the flood the sky button, I'm going to build a booster here. And I'm going to build a booster here, and that should boost this guy. You can see the boosts. You can see the boosts particles coming on top of it. I'm going to build some bombers, Yep. Go, bombers, go. That's some seriously fast bombing runs about to come out of this thing. We're going to watch death fly from above. That's gonna be satisfying if I don't say so myself. We have a line of boats. We have so many boats that we have a line of boats queuing up to bombard our opponent here. And here comes the infinite plane. Just bombers, endless amounts of bombers with 48 builders happening at once. This is going to be destruction. Oh, he did actually build an anti-air. That's not allowed. That's illegal. It'd be a shame if we had infinite bombers on the way, just set to blow it up. We have too many things, it says. I hit the population cap, is what has happened here. Yep, here come the bombs. I'm not even going to bother building more supply depots. It's too late. The bombs have already launched. This is over. Poor AI. Having a tough time. And that's how you win any match in this game.